Similar figures test retake study guide. Number 1, using the similar triangles, find x, show all work. All right, so as you can see, these triangles are stacked pretty easily. So we see here that we can set this up as x over 4. And then for this side, it's going to be 15. But since it is not indicated that these sides are parallel, we're going to have to take the total. The reason being that if I have this triangle, actually I'll make this one bigger. If I have the bigger triangle and then the smaller triangle, this side of course is 4, this is x, this is 15, this is not 6. That doesn't even make sense. Why would it be less than 15? It would be the whole thing, which is 6 plus 15. So that's where I got the 21, or that's why I took the 21. Any hoozles. So that's going to be, since we went with x at the numerator, we're going to use the 21 at the numerator. And then 15 is the denominator. So again, just to make it plain, x over 4, 21 over 15. And when we cross multiply, we're going to get 84 equals 15x. And we're going to have to get x by itself. So we're just going to solve that equation for x. Sorry, 5.6. For number 2, we can see here that this angle and this angle are similar, are not similar, are congruent, and these are vertical angles, so they are congruent. So that gives us an idea of how to set this up. If you notice, the 48 is between the blue and the green angle. So it's going to match up or pair up or correspond with the 22 for the same reason. So 48 over 22 will be 12x minus 4 over 55. And then we're just going to cross multiply and solve for x. So that'll be 22 times 12x minus 4. And then 48 times 55, which I don't know off the top of my head. Okay. All right, so at this point, you could technically do and solve. And just make sure that if you do, you put comma x at the end. Just like that. So you could do it like that. All right. Of course, I'm not going to do that, but you are more than welcome. As long as you show me this step, you have to show me that step first. Okay, 22 times 12. So we distribute that 22. Then we're going to subtract, just kidding, we're going to add the 88. And then we're going to divide by 264. Just double checking my work. Okay. All right, number 3, a 40-foot flagpole casts a 25-foot shadow. So here's our flagpole, here's our shadow. So that's 40, that's 25. Find the shadow cast by a nearby building 200 feet tall. Made that too tall. Okay, so now we have a building that's 200 feet tall, and we need to find the shadow that this building casts. All right, I mean, I feel like the way I drew it makes it pretty obvious, but these two match up. They are corresponding. These two are corresponding. So we're gonna set it up as 40 over 200 equals 25 over x. All right, so just like the last time, we're gonna cross multiply. So we know 25 times 2 is 50 with these extra 2 zeros in the 200. And 40 times x is 40x. I'm going to divide both sides by 40. The zeros will cancel out. That doesn't seem right. Hold on. Yeah, 125. How the heck did I get that? Oh, I see what I did. That was ridiculous, but it's all good. All right. So that's how long the shadow should be for the 200-foot building. Determine if the triangles are similar. If so, state the postulate or theorem. And it gives you all the ones that it could be. If the triangles are not similar, state not possible. Show all required work and proportions to prove answers. Number 4. All right, so I'm going to start with the longest side just because I feel like that's easier. And the longest side. So that's going to be our first ratio. And we're going to go with the second longest sides on both triangles. And then the third longest sides. And then we're going to see, are they equal or not? So 47 over 21 for the first one. Okay, so far so good. All right, we got it. So all 3 of these sides were proportional, which means this is similar by the side similarity theorem. Number 5. We have no numbers on number 5, so we're going to have to look at what we do have. I see here that we've got an angle and an angle in both, or in each triangle we have one angle that's marked. So that's A for angle. And then these are vertical angles here. Vertical angles are automatically congruent, so that's another angle. So there you go. Number 6. So I see here that 108 is the longer side, and over here 96 is the longer side, so they are going to be corresponding. And then 91 and 84 will be corresponding. And then we're just going to see if these are congruent or not. So you can do what we did on number 4 and just simplify each fraction, or you can cross multiply. Really doesn't matter. All right, now let's cross multiply this way. All right, so as you can see, these are not equivalent fractions. So this is not similar. Number 7, there are no angles marked, so we're going to check for side similarity. The longest side here is the 16, and the longest side in the second triangle is the 12. So that's going to be our first ratio. Next, we have the 12 and the 9. And then the smallest side in the first triangle is 8. The smallest side in the second triangle is 6. So they are corresponding. All right. So we could technically do cross product, but we're not going to do that. I don't like doing that when there's 3 fractions. We're just going to simplify. 4 goes into 16 4 times. 4 goes into 12 3 times. 3 goes into 12 4 times. 3 goes into 9 3 times. 2 goes into 8 4 times. 2 goes into 6 3 times. So we are good to go. This is similar by the side similarity theorem. Number 8. So here we have both sides and angles. We have the angle here and here. So it's going to be angle. And then we have a side here, which is going to correspond with this side, because they're both the longer sides in both triangles. And then, of course, that means 3 and 6 will correspond. So we want to check and see if the 4 over 8 is equivalent to the 3 over 6. So you can use cross product or you can simplify. It doesn't really matter. 24, 24. So yes, these are similar. And I already wrote my A right here. We also had the sides. So that's going to be side angle side similarity. Use the diagram to complete the similarity statement. All right, before I even get into this, I'm going to use my highlighter because I like to. All right, so this goes with this, obviously. They both have 2 marks. This goes with this. They are corresponding. And the space between them is corresponding. CB is going to correspond with YZ. Oh, sorry, XZ. And the AC will correspond with XY. All right, so I got all that set up. Now I can use this. Triangle BAC. So triangle BAC is going to correspond with ZYX. Got to go in the same order. All right, next we have BA, which corresponds with ZY, equals AC, which corresponds with YX, and then BC, which corresponds with ZX. All right, number 10, find the value of the variables using the given information. We know that PRO is similar to MNO. So again, P and M, R and N, that should have been obvious, O and O. So we're going to set up a proportion to solve for X. This is X. All right, so it looks like X is similar, corresponding to 21. And so these two should go together. And the 27 should go with the 9. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and cross multiply. Okay, and then we're going to divide both sides by 27. Okay, Number 11, NHS is similar to DOG. So N and D correspond, H and O correspond, and then S and G correspond. All right, so right off the bat here, I see that angle G is, angle S, which was like the X variable, is equal to angle G, so that's 46 degrees. Don't forget, for similar figures, the angles are equal. They are congruent, but the sides are proportional, not equal. To find the value of Y. Well, we know this is 46, and we know this is a triangle here. All three angles in a triangle add up to 180. So we're just going to use the 180 rule. So 180 minus 52 plus 46. And I get 82. Number 12, find the scale factor from ABC to DEF. So we're going to put ABC first, DEF second, because we have to go in this same order. Okay, so I'm going to pick one number, one side. I'm going to pick this side and this side. And we're going to put ABC on the top and DEF on the bottom, and then just simplify that fraction. Both of these are divisible by 4, it looks like. It's the biggest number. 4 goes into 12 3 times. 4 goes into 25 times. Number 13, two triangles are similar. The sides of the first triangle are 520 and 35. The smallest side of the second triangle is 10. Find the perimeter of the second triangle, draw a picture. All right, so we're going to do the perimeter of the first triangle by adding up all the sides. Okay, and then to find the perimeter of the second one, we're just going to take the two sides that we do know, so 5 to 10, and then we're just going to set it up with the perimeter. So we're putting the smaller triangle at the top and the bigger triangle at the bottom. So the smaller triangle's perimeter is 60. We don't know the bigger triangle's perimeter, and that's what we need to solve for. So when we cross multiply, we get 600 equals 5p. And then we're just going to divide both sides by 5 to get rid of the 5 next to the p. And that should be what, 120? Cool. Number 14, find x. Solve for x. Alrighty. So we've got this 28 and this 82. Now, since these arrows are here, we don't have to use this total. And honestly, I wouldn't use this total because if we use 82, we have to use this total over here, and that's just going to not be extremely helpful. Actually, no, it would be. I don't think it'd be bad. But anyways, it doesn't matter. So either you can use the 82 and the 7x plus 4 on the other side, or you can just subtract the 82 and the 28. All right, so when I subtract those two, I get 54. So we can do 28 to 54 equals 2x plus 8 over 5x minus 4. And then just solve for x. So when I cross multiply this way, it's going to be 54 times 2x plus 8. When I cross multiply this way, that's going to be 28 times 5x minus 4. And you could honestly just do and solve from here. and it would look like this in your calculator. So you could do that, and that would work. I'm gonna just be difficult and not do that though. But you can do that. Yeah. All right, we're gonna distribute. All right, so we're here. Now I'm gonna start by subtracting 108 from both sides. 108x. So that'll leave us with 432 equals that 32x minus 112. Then we're gonna add the 112 to both sides. All right, now we're gonna divide both sides by 32. And that's 17.